55. He who is filled with virtue is like a newborn child. Wasps and serpents will not sting him. Wild beasts will not pounce upon him. He will not be attacked by birds of prey. His bones are soft, his muscles weak, but his grip is firm. He has not experienced the union of man and woman, but is whole. His manhood is strong. He screams all day without becoming hoarse. This is perfect harmony. Knowing harmony is constancy. Knowing constancy is enlightenment. It is not wise to rush about. Controlling the breath causes strain. If too much energy is used, exhaustion follows. This is not the way of Tao. Whatever is contrary to Tao will not last long. Commentary. Lao Tzu compares a person with virtue to a newborn child. Just think, a newborn child just got born from the Tao. That's as pure as you can get. It knows its true nature. It is pure, humble, and full of love. I'm sure each mother and father can relate to this. For parents, this is probably one of their highlights in life. The baby is in perfect harmony. Christ said, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." You must be like a child to understand the Tao. True strength lies in weakness and being humble. The world at large does not believe this. Being a humble person is considered a weakness. Such is the paradox of life. Lao Tzu says, "It is not wise to rush about. Controlling the breath causes strain. If too much energy is used, exhaustion follows. This is not the way of Tao. Whatever is contrary to Tao will not last long." This may seem like a broken record, yet it is the truth. Mankind is rushing around, and yet is going nowhere. This has been going on for thousands of years. Our workplace is insane. People are working countless hours and wasting precious energy. No wonder exhaustion is in our land. We put these precious hours to get a paycheck. Unfortunately, many companies could care less, even if you died. Otherwise, there would be harmony in the workplace. Harmony must come from all, especially the leaders. If the leaders don't care about themselves, they won't care about you. This is not the way of Tao. Whatever is contrary to Tao will not last long. We are in a global shutdown. I mean, a global shutdown. One more time, a global shutdown. Is this getting through to us? A global shutdown. Is humanity going to learn a lesson, or will the same old occur? Whatever is contrary to Tao will not last long. That is an incredible message written many moons ago. '58. When the country is ruled with a light hand, the people are simple. When the country is ruled with severity, the people are cunning. Happiness is rooted in misery. misery lurks beneath happiness. Who knows what the future holds? There is no honesty. Honesty becomes dishonest. Goodness becomes witchcraft. Man's bewitchment lasts for a long time. Therefore, the sage is sharp, but not cutting, pointed, but not piercing, straightforward, but not unrestrained, brilliant, but not blinding. Commentary. The United States is totally divided. Politicians spin the truth. What they said yesterday, they say today. I never said that. Without the harmony of the Tao, happiness leads to misery. It's a two-edged sword. You can't have one without the other. Your happiness may lead to misery. Your misery may lead to happiness. The road of life contains the lanes of happiness and misery. Mind you, it's the same road. At times you have to change lanes because of some unforsaken circumstances. You then go from happiness to misery, or misery to happiness. The wise man doesn't react to either lane changing. Good or bad cards may be dealt to you. It's how you react makes all the difference in the world. A wise man follows the laws of the Tao and smiles at diversity. Dishonesty is rampant in the world today. We have leaders who have lied over 16,000 times since taking office. Just think, if I was lying a few times, at some point you wouldn't believe me, yet half the population still does. Mankind is sinking. Without ethics and morals, the ship will sink. I believe in the goodness of man. I have high hopes. I pray that the shutdown will bring us to our senses. Ruling the country is like cooking a small fish. Approach the universe with Tao, and evil is not powerful. But its powers would not be used to harm others. Not only will it do no harm to others, but the sage himself will also be protected. They do not hurt each other, and the virtue in each one refreshes both. Commentary. When rulers rule with ignorance and the absence of the Tao, chaos exists. Just ask Jesus the Christ. No sage is protected. Currently in the United States, chaos is prevalent. During this global shutdown, there is no true leadership. People need this during a crisis. There is finger pointing. The American people aren't getting encouragement from their leaders. It takes great insight to rule. If the leaders aren't aware of silence, they will rule with uncertainty. They will be biased. They will vote upon the party lines. The leaders will forget about morals and ethics, the cornerstone of politics. Both sides of the aisle will bicker and get angry with one another. Moderating and compromise will go out the door. Nothing will get done. When one is in tune with the Tao, one has great intuition. One could see what a small event in China, which occurred in China last December, could cause a worldwide shutdown. It's like the theory that a butterfly could flap its wings at right the precise time to create a cyclone in China. A wise man listens to his advisors way before events get out of control. Nobody has such great wisdom that they don't need advisors. This worldwide shutdown could have been nipped in the buds months ago. We don't need leaders who said some party is blowing this out of proportion and didn't do anything about it. I could go on and on. Personally, I think we should drastically reduce the military budget. This money can be used to overcome so many current problems. War is obsolete. If you don't think so, then currently we have a silent virus that can cross any borders. It has literally shut down the entire world. Mother Nature is saying, stop all this nonsense. You are sawing the branch you are sitting on. This is a warning. You may not take it seriously, but it is a warning. Someday you may not survive, but I will. My hands are open to you, but you have to change for the better. Don't think when this is over you can go on with your old stupid ways. This shutdown could occur again. What will it take you to change your ways? All the precious answers exist inside of you. "61. A great country is like low land. It is the meeting ground of the universe, the mother of the universe. The female overcomes the male with stillness. Lie and know in stillness. Therefore, if a great country gives way to a smaller country, it will conquer the smaller country. And if a small country submits to a great country, it can conquer the great country. Therefore, those who would conquer must yield, and those who conquer do so because they yield. A great nation needs more people. A small country needs to serve. Each gets what it's wants. It is fitting for a great nation to yield. The United States was built upon the principles of the Tao. Mind you, they didn't call it the Tao. Yet freedom from tyranny was our foundation. The pursuit of happiness was written into our Constitution. For over 200 years, the United States was the lighthouse of the world. Countries look up to us. Countries respected us. We are a shining example to the world. Currently, we have fallen from our greatness. The world at large no longer trusts us. We have treaties that we signed, and a short time later, reneged on our promises. We mock our allies and praise our foes. When the slogan, "Make America Great Again," this is the start of a downfall for our country. It is not us versus them. This entire world is in bed with each other. Isolation will never work this way. Once again, without being in a state of being, a country loses its wisdoms. The founding fathers had a vision and fought for it. You could say they combined doing and being. Ultimately, this led to greatness. Presently, the United States lost the sense of being and only is doing. In this state of mind, it leads to chaos. Just think in the last 40 years, the 1% gained over $20 trillion, while the others lost hundreds of billions of dollars. Yet, we are still giving tax breaks to the rich. The United States rules for corporations and the rich, not for the common man. The Tao has been completely forgotten except for the common man. The unsung heroes of this worldwide shutdown are the immigrant farmers, the people working in restaurants and grocery workers, all the great medical workers, these are the heroes. In the meantime, Congress is still trying to pass bills. Lao Tzu said, "The female overcomes the male with stillness, lying low in stillness." We need to embrace the female to solve our problems. The female exists inside of silence. In silence lies the wisdom of the Tao. The Tao is humble. It lies low. It doesn't point fingers and mocks you. It created the entire universe. It exists inside of you. The world at large must embrace kindness and the softness of water. (62) Tao is the source of the 10,000 things. It is the treasure of the good man and the refuge of the bad. Sweet words can buy honor. Good deeds can gain respect. If a man is bad, do not abandon him. Therefore, on the day the emperor is crowned, or the 3 officers of state installed, do not send a gift of jade and a team of 4 horses, but remain still and offer the Tao. Why does everyone like the Tao so much at first? Isn't it because you find what you seek and are forgiven when you sin? Therefore, this is the greatest treasure of the universe. Commentary. The Tao is like the prodigal son in the Bible. The father accepts with open arms the one who wandered away a long time ago, and the other son who never left home. You see, the father does not judge you or criticize you. He accepts you as you are. This chapter deals with forgiveness. Forgive your fellow man. Give love and compassion to all. Be tolerant of others. The Tao is humble, so be humble. Lao Tzu said, "If a man is bad, do not abandon him. Point him to the freeway of life. He is lost on a lonely, dark road filled with potholes. Give him directions to the freeway. He will be ever so grateful." Caring for the bad as well as the good is not only the compassionate thing to do, it's also the most practical. Make your enemies your friends. Christ talked about this. We are going from me to we. We are going from doing to being. (65) In the beginning, those who knew the Tao did not try to enlighten others, but kept it hidden. Why is it so hard to rule? Because people are so clever. Rulers who try to use cleverness cheat the country. Those who rule without cleverness are a blessing to the land. These are the 2 alternatives. understanding there is primal virtue. Primal virtue is deep and far. It leads all things back towards the great oneness. Commentary. In the beginning, those who knew the Tao did not try to enlighten others, but kept it hidden. This is still probably exists today. Most people are not simply interested. Lao Tzu asks, why is it so hard to rule? Unfortunately, many rulers want power and control over others. Look at our politics today. In our egocentric world of people who rule with bragging, boasting, finger-calling, degrading, mocking, and firing people who call you out, morals and ethics are thrown out the door. No wonder the world is in chaos. We are in a global shutdown, and our leaders are acting like kindergartners. People are dying still, and they want people to go back to work. That's their priority. "66. Why is the sea king of 100 streams? Because it lies below them. Therefore is the king of 100 streams. If the sage would guide the people, he must serve with humility. If he would lead them, he must follow behind. In this way, when the sage rules, the people will not feel oppressed. When he stands before them, they will not be harmed. The whole world will support him, will not tire of him, because he does not compete. He does not meet competition." Commentary. To truly rule, one must be humble. The Tao is humble. He does not shout and ask for recognition. The sage is humble. He leads them by following behind them. This way, the people don't think they are being oppressed. By a sage being in harmony with the Tao, there will be harmony throughout the land. "67. Everyone under heaven says my Tao is great and beyond compare. Because it is great, it seems different. If it were not different, it would have vanished long ago. I have 3 treasures which I hold and keep. The first is mercy. The second is economy. The third is daring not to be ahead of others. From mercy comes courage. From economy comes generosity. From humility comes leadership. Nowadays, men shun mercy, but try to be brave. They abandon economy, but try to be generous. They do not believe in humility, but always try to be first. This is certain death. Mercy brings victory in battle and strength in defense. is the means by which heaven saves and guards. Commentary. Lao Tzu embraces the three treasures of mercy, economy or moderation, and daring not to be ahead of others. We see today that our leaders shun mercy and bully people around. Look at our politics today. In our egocentric world of people who rule with bragging, boasting, finger-calling, degrading, mocking, and fire people who call you out. Morals and ethics are thrown out the door. We have leaders who are always right and will never back down. They say something and the next moment say something opposite. When they are called on it, they will lie. Such is the condition today. During this great shutdown, we need leaders who embraces these virtues. (71) Knowing ignorance is strength. Ignoring knowledge is sickness. If one is sick of sickness, then one is not sick. The sage is not sick because he is sick of sickness. Therefore, he is not sick. Commentary. Common sense is uncommon. When I was in my teens, I believed in preventative medicine. My train of thought was, this is the only body you get, so you might as well take care of it. I have been sick a few times in my life, and I didn't like it. I have been drunk a few times, and I didn't like it. Being in harmony with your mind, body, and soul brings contentment to an individual. It's like one is surfing with the waves of life and having a grand time. Mankind has been stuck in the riptides. Many people drown in the process. Look at how addictions can cause sudden death, or over time will lead to your death. A wise man yearns to learn from his mistakes. He knows that learning is 2 steps forward and 1 step backward. He learns to fine-tune the guitar of life. The ignorant man laughs at the wise man. How stupid are you? Only a fool would lead a life like yours. The wise man just smiles. He has nothing to say or prove. (72) When man lack a sense of awe, there will be disaster. Do not intrude in their homes. Do not harass them at work. If you do not interfere, they will not weary of you. Therefore the sage knows himself, but makes no show, has self-respect, but is not ignorant. He lets go of that and chooses this. Commentary. When a man doesn't discover the sense of all inside himself, there will be a disaster. This worldwide shutdown is a practical experience of this. Chaos resides throughout the land. Do not intrude in their homes. Do not harass them at work. If you do not interfere, they will not weary of you. Lao Tzu is given guidance on how to rule. Rule with kindness and benevolence. Rule with humility. Be like water. If you do this, the world will love you. Don't mock others. If you do, many people will despise you. Rule with ethics and morals. Be in harmony with the Tao. Don't be arrogant. Unfortunately, this has gone from the current landscape. When a nation loses morals and ethics, it's a sign that the ship is sinking. '73. A brave and passionate man will kill or be killed. A brave and calm man will always preserve life. Of these two, which is good and which is harmful? Some things are not favored by heaven. Who knows why? Even the sage is unsure of this. The Tao of heaven does not strive, and yet it overcomes. It does not speak, and yet is answered. It does not ask, yet is supplied with all its needs. It seems to have no aim, and yet its purpose is fulfilled. Heaven's net casts wide. Through its meshes or course, nothing slips through. Commentary. A brave and passionate man will kill or be killed. A brave and calm man will always preserve life. Of these two, which is good and which is harmful? Some things are not favored by heaven. Who knows why? Even the sage is unsure of this. War is obsolete and will always be. Yet man has been fighting for thousands of years. Mind you, God does not take side. Yet some things are not favored by heaven. When man is a doer and hasn't discovered the jewel within, chaos exists. We then have leaders who have no sense of morals or ethics. They will send their young to fight their own battles. The Tao doesn't judge, it simply is. But in my personal opinion, it may be slightly biased towards the ones whose life is spent being in harmony with the Tao. This is our true nature. Life is like a video game. We either advance or stay at our mundane levels of being. A doer. We just strive through the life aimlessly without a purpose. A wise man finds that this game is the most entertaining video game in the universe. Life will throw you curveballs, both internally and externally. It is an exciting game. The Tao wants to see how you will react. You can talk a great story, but the Tao will give you challenging events for you. Mind you, we are in a worldwide shutdown. The Tao of heaven does not strive, and yet it overcomes. It does not speak, and yet it is answered. It does not ask, yet is supplied with all its needs. It seems to have no aim, and yet its purpose is fulfilled. Heaven's net casts wide. Through its meshes or course, nothing slips through. To a doer, these words make no sense. To a wise man, these words might seem to be a paradox, yet from his heart, They make perfect sense. "76. A man is born gentle and weak. At his death it is hard and stiff. Green plants are tender and filled with sap. At their death they are withered and dry. Therefore the stiff and unbending is the disciple of death. The gentle and yielding is the disciple of life. Thus an army without flexibility never wins a battle. A tree that is unbending is easily broken. The hard and strong will fall. The soft and weak will overcome." Commentary. We all come from the Tao. When we are born, we are gentle and weak. The common man thinks this is a weakness. We have leaders who consider this to be pushovers. Yet over time, society teaches you to live inside of the box. We become stiff and our thinking is limited. Consequently, by being out of touch of the Tao, we get hardened in life. Society gets hardened. Politics gets hardened. Common sense is uncommon. The leaders rule with political power and along party lines. Ethics and morals have long gone left the picture. Someday, this will change. Remember how powerful water is. Water is soft and weak, but it can erode any rock. "77. The Tao of heaven is like the bending of a bow. The high is lowered and the lower is raised. If the string is too long, it is shortened. If it is not enough, it is made long. The Tao of heaven is to take from those who have too much and give to those who do not have enough. Man's way is different. He takes from those who do not have enough and give to those who already have too much. But man has more than enough and gives it to the world. Only the man of Tao. Therefore, the sage works without recognition. He achieves what he has to be done without dwelling on it. He does not try to show his knowledge." Commentary. The Tao's principles are of infinite virtue. There is a thread of love tying the whole universe together. The same problems they had in China during Lao Tzu's time, we still have them around today. The Tao of heaven is to take from those who have too much and give to those who do not have enough. Man's way is different. He takes from those who do not have enough and give to those who already have too much. When man has more than enough and gives it to the world, only the man of Tao. How true this is. Laws are passed to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. No wonder America is in such a downward spiral. We spend over 60% of our budget on defense. The defense industry is making trillions of dollars. During this global shutdown, we need true leaders that once again can embrace ethics and morals. '78. Under heaven, nothing is more soft and yielding than water. Yet for attacking the solid and strong, nothing is better. It has no equal. The weak can overcome the strong. The supple can overcome the stiff. Under heaven, everyone knows this, yet no one puts it into practice. Therefore, the sages says, he who takes upon himself the humiliation of the people is fit to rule them. He who takes upon himself the country's disasters deserves to be king of the universe. The truth often sounds paradoxical. Commentary. Life is a grand paradox. What man thinks and what the Tao thinks are on two different wavelengths. Our current administration rules with bragging, boasting, finger-calling, degrading, mocking, and firing people who call you out on this. Is considered the new norm. The Tao rules like a newborn baby. It is soft and tender. It's like water. Water can erode any rock over time. During this global shutdown, nature is sending mankind to their rooms to think things over. Note, not a bullet was shot. What we think is normal and what the Tao is a difference between night and day. We need Mother Earth. Mother Earth does not need us. '79. After a bitter quarrel, some resentment must remain. What can one do about it? Therefore, the sage keeps his half of the bargain, and does not expect his due. A man of virtue performs his part, but a man without virtue requires others to fulfill their obligations. The Tao of heaven is impartial. It stays with good men all the time. Commentary. How true this is. Many people say many wars are started by previous wars. The Germans lost in World War I. Consequently, much hardness occurred to him. There remained bitterness. The bitterness was a door where Adolf Hitler could come in. We see this all the time in our politics. Both parties quarrel so much that the only fruits are bitterness. nothing can get done. They can't compromise. In the last few years, the United States backed out of two treaties, the Iran deal and the Paris Accord. The Iran deal took 5 years to reach an agreement. 10 countries around the world ratified the treaty. Yet, our administration backed out of them. Our word is not worth anything anymore. When the treaty is signed, it means countries should follow it. We have lost faith with the world. Our current administration admonishes our allies and praises our enemy. To be quite frank, the United States has lost its virtue. The President demonstrates to the world the current state of America thinking. A wise leader does not Twitter to the world at 3 in the morning. Whatever comes to his mind goes into his tweet. True communication is deep thinking. A tweet is shallow thinking. No wonder we're in such a mess. A small country has fewer people, though there are machines that can work 10 to 100 times faster than man. They are not needed. The people take death seriously and do not travel far. Though they have boats and carriages, no one uses them. Though they have some armor and weapons, no one displays them. Men return to the knotting of rope in place of riding. Their food is plain and good, their clothes fine but simple, their houses secure. They are happy in their ways, though they live within sight of their neighbors. And crowing cocks and barking dogs are heard across the way, yet they leave each other in peace while they grow old and die. Commentary. Probably the most advanced nations today are the Scandinavian countries. They rule with what is good for the common man. Many of them work 32 hours a week. They have at least 1.5 months of vacation time. Many have a year and a half of parental leave. This includes both parents. Nobody has to worry about paying thousands in medical bills. They are at the top of learning around the world. Universities are free. They are closing down prisons because they don't need them. I find it a paradox that our leaders mock this system. It seems to me this is what America stands for. They proclaim that many of their guiding principles came from the United States. America is in chaos, yet our leaders are still fighting with one another. A global shutdown is occurring, yet we are in a downward spiral. '81. Truthful words are not beautiful. Beautiful words are not truthful. Good men do not argue. Those who argue are not good. Those who know are not learned. The learned do not know. The sage never tries to store things up. The more he does for others, the more he has. The more he gives to others, the greater his abundance. The Tao of heaven is pointed, but does no harm. The Tao of the sage is work without effort. Commentary. In Luke 6:31, do to others as you would have them do to you. This golden rule was also in China around 500 years before Christ. A man who is in harmony with the Tao is in complete alignment with the golden rule. Day by day, he learns how to be in greater harmony with the Tao. He understands that worldly knowledge is limited. The wisdom of the Tao is infinite. The more he gives, the more he receives.
Closing. The Tao Te Ching still contains incredible wisdom. It is probably more relevant today. We still have the same problems that existed 4,000 years ago. Man is stubborn in his nature. Hopefully this book will give you more insight on where to look to find out your true nature. It's been there all the time. We can change this world. It's up to each one of us.